We have Steelers and the Broncos, and a very defensive game. And Steelers proving themselves to be not as beat up as we thought.
Yeah, I mean, they had everyone but Big Ben. I mean, I said that backwards. They had Big Ben and no one else. It was like one of their. They didn't have Brown. They didn't have D'Angelo Williams.
hmm
But Bryant kind of stepped his game up and had a few players. But the main thing was Ben seemed pretty much mostly recovered from the shoulder injury.
Yeah,
He could definitely throw the ball, and that was as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh well, this changes everything. You
yeah,
know, if he's healthy, he can put up a fight. And I mean, they were ahead and pretty early. They
yeah.
went up.
Well, they. It was weird because the win was a big factor in this game.
Yeah, this was definitely the win game of the playoffs thus
Yeah.
far. You know,
Uh, I mean, I know they're in the Mile High State, but
right.
or the Mile High City, but it definitely looked like they should have been in the Windy City.
The Windy City.
Yeah. Oh, Chicago.
Not even that windy.
Yeah. Anyways, it was weird because Denver scored a field goal very early, and then Steelers had that punt where like they didn't even make it across the 50-yard line from like because the wind just like blew the ball back towards them, and I was like,
Right,
and
right.
as soon as that happened, I'm like, ooh, not looking good, Steelers. Not, but then they're they stopped the Broncos for a lot of field goals, and I didn't realize this, but Steelers had the number one red zone defense this year in the NFL, and I didn't know that.
Yeah,
They've
they held
only
Denver. I think Denver had to kick 5 field goals this game.
yeah yeah.
Yeah,
I think their kicker actually got player of the game too because of that. Uh,
yeah.
they have only allowed 6 rushing touchdowns all season, which that's pretty damn impressive in itself. And I think I forgot how many points they've allowed in the red zone, but that was like it was just crazy of like how much you know how good they are in the red zone, and that wasn't a lot, and it showed this game. It definitely showed, and is kind of like the Packers and Arizona game. I think Broncos proved like that they are a good team, but to the atonement to the Steelers, they showed despite being gone with a lot of key players, just how good of a team they really are too.
Their defense was really impressive. Like you mentioned already, but it was really impressive. The offense, I mean, Big Ben did, I think, what he could with what he had,
Yeah,
because if Brown would have been in the game, they probably would have won, honestly.
it would have been a lot, but if
You
it
know,
even if okay, if they would have had Brown and D'Angelo Williams, this game would have been very, very, very different. But I at least want to point out that between Martavius Bryant and Darius Hayward Bay, they stepped it up when they needed to. They did. And
this
Heath
game
Miller.
ended pretty crazy, though, despite the
Yeah.
fact that it was defense like the last few minutes. Okay, there was a turnover, there was an interception, I believe, and there was like 10 minutes left, I think, in the game at
Yep.
that point, roughly. And Denver just let a long, slow
Yeah, it
drive,
was like six and
got
a
into
half
the end
minutes.
zone. Yeah, and that's exactly what they needed to do. They
hmm
ate up the clock. They ate up all of it. And then,
And they were
they,
behind too. You would think that they
right,
should have the
right,
mentality of like we need to score now, but they said no. Let's take up as much time as possible, and they still went
right.
down there and scored. I think C.J. Anderson had the score on that one.
Yeah. Then though, Pittsburgh gets the ball back, isn't able to do anything with it. Denver got the ball back, and they get a field goal, and then Pittsburgh gets the ball back, and then they got a field goal. And this all happened in like 3 minutes, like
Yeah.
less than like 2 minutes, I think maybe. you know, 2.5. So I think there was like 20 something seconds left on the clock when Pittsburgh kicked that field goal, and then they tried to get the onside kick, and obviously did not.
hmm
But I mean, for as slow as the game was offensively, it, like all of a sudden just kind of busted wide open, and you hear this is Demarius Thomas's first game that his mother had ever been there. It was
Yeah.
like the first time she'd ever been watching. And Peyton Manning got the game ball and said, "Give this to your mama," and that's what happened. They gave it to his mom. So I thought that was great. I thought
yeah.
that was great. I'm like, man, the kicker almost should have got the game ball, but I'm like, nah, give it to his mama.
That's pretty funny.
It's just a football,
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
kicker. Like whatever. But yeah, and it was a, you know, I didn't really think it was a boring game per se though. I think I had to step out and I missed part of the third quarter, which not a lot happened while I was gone, so maybe that's why. I saw every touchdown and every point that got scored.
Mm-hmm.
But as far it was interesting. It might have been completely different than it might have been a different kind of crazy finish compared to like not quite Cardinals Arizona, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, and Cardinals Arizona, Cardinals Packers. But it was a good game. I thought solid finish to the divisional round,
You know, we
and it was an impressive. You know, we said it was an impressive showing by Pittsburgh's defense. I think because they were sort of underrated going into this.
yeah.
But I mean, Denver's defense just did what they do. I mean, really, and the turnover changed the game.
Yeah.
So
It's it's kind of weird because we mentioned this, we said this term a lot as the entire season's gone on, and we've done our videos all season and everything, and uh, that we said this is a prime example. It's a very defensive game, and usually when we say that, what we mean by it, which is true, it is a very defensive game, but for a lot of viewers who maybe aren't like super into football or like really like they don't get like really into it, like when you have a defensive game, it usually means that it's a boring game to a lot of like just people who don't like a lot like or pay attention to the play calling or
it's
the
no secret that
audibles.
people like high scoring games.
Yeah,
That's the real reason the passing rules got changed. You know, to draw in eyeballs to make the score higher. So
this game
gen-
though,
gen-
especially it being so defensive, it wasn't boring, which is kind of weird that um, that kind of thing happens. But here, I want to know what your take on this is.
okay.
Um, you already mentioned that Denver's defense did what they've done all season, and they prevent from the other team scoring, really any points and everything. And that shows because, it shows to be true, mostly because this was a low scoring game again, and Broncos
Right.
primarily have low scoring games. Every single time they've had a win, it has been low scoring. Now, them going against the Patriots, who generally are pretty high scoring, team. Do you think Broncos defense has what it takes to prevent Tom Brady from, racking up points? And do you think Peyton Manning has what it takes to keep up with Tom Brady?
I think the question really is on that defense to keep up with Tom Brady against the regular defense right now. No, but it's to the answer to who do I think is going to win. I'm going to make you watch the other video to
Ooh.
find out.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But that's
Uh,
the ultimate question I think for everybody is can Peyton Manning keep up with what Tom Brady can potentially do? Because I have a feeling that Tom Brady could maybe give this team, this defense, really a big run for their money, more than what the Steelers could. And that's not a shot against the Steelers because, Big Ben, he did give him kind of run for their money. He was in the lead for a while. I mean, he
yeah,
did a hell of a good job against their defense. But the fact of the matter is the Patriots are healthier than the Steelers are.
right.
And I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to that.
Well, there's just speculation. There's no one knows for sure, right?
Yeah, good point. It's all
And
speculation.
and we will. I think that's going to be a good game, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
definitely. Me too. And so you already mentioned it too. We have our the championship round picks coming up, and then we'll
right.
compare it to our previous picks that we've done for the rest of the playoffs, so that anybody watching at home that you can play along with us and make your own picks. Yay!
Play along with our dick measuring contest.
Our ego measuring contest. Uh, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We'll get that out of the way. And make sure to watch the rest of the videos between um, the other teams that have played in this round, between our picks for next week and compare it from this week and everything. And then make sure to watch our late call and make sure to enjoy the playoffs as much as that we have, because the playoffs are probably one of my favorite times of the year.
Hey,
Yeah.
you have any last words?
Do I have any last words?
Yeah, I never asked you.
Hmm. Hmm.
You're failing miserably right now.
Hmm. Nope.